Hey there, Trinity Grace. It is good to see you this morning. We're going to continue our study of the Song of Ascents that help us during this time of seclusion. Psalm 126 says, "When the Lord restored the fortunes of Zion, we were like those who dream. Then our mouth was filled with laughter and our tongue with shouts of joy. That they said among the nations, the Lord has done great things for them. The Lord has done great things for us, and we are glad. Restore our fortunes, O Lord, like streams in the Negev. Those who sow in tears shall reap with shouts of joy. He who goes out weeping, bearing the seed for sowing, shall come home with shouts of joy, bringing his sheaves with him." The psalmist kind of begins remembering good times and hard times. Verse 1 through 3 kind of are remembering good times. They're remembering those times that are so good you almost have to pinch yourself to realize they're real. Those times when you're like those who dream. You're just amazed and stunned by God's provision, by another promotion or another bonus or whatever else is going on, by marriage, by these relational highlights, or maybe you're just laughing at his over-the-top goodness. There's so many times where we just laugh and are amazed, or we're rejoicing at his very near presence. And that's what the psalmist says, is even the nations observe that the Lord is doing great things to his people. But those times aren't all the time. And the psalmist is aware of that. And the psalm suddenly flips to a cry and to a prayer. The psalmist is telling us of hard times, of hurting times, of grieving times, and calling us to wait for joy in those moments. He says in verse 5, and we did look in this little detail, he says, "Those who sow in tears shall reap with shouts of joy." Those who sow in tears shall reap with shouts of joy. And then he kind of breaks out what that means. Those who go out weeping, bearing the seed for sowing, shall come home with shouts of joy, bringing his sheaves with him. And I just want us to see one thing here. And the idea is that the promise is a harvest of joy comes to those who keep sowing through tears. It's saying the tears, they just make us want to quit. They make us want to roll over. They make us want to pull up the blanket. They make us want to throw in the towel. They make us want to wait until it no longer hurts. But there's a better way, is what the psalm is saying. Sow in tears. Work through weeping. And a harvest of joy comes. I can't improve upon what John Piper says about this verse. And he just says very simply, when there are simple, straightforward jobs to be done, and you're full of sadness, and tears are flowing easily, go ahead and do the job with tears. Be realistic. Say to your tears, I feel you. You make me want to quit life, but there is a field to be sown, dishes to be washed, car to be fixed, and so on. I know that you'll wet my face several times today, but I have work to do. And you will just have to go with me. I intend to take the bag of seeds and sow. If you come along, then you'll just have to wet the rows. Then say, on the basis of God's word, tears, I know you will not stay forever. The very fact that I do my work, tears and all, will in the end bring a harvest of blessing. So go ahead and flow if you must. But I believe, I don't see it yet, I don't feel it fully. I believe that the simple work of sowing will bring sheaves of harvest, and your tears will be turned to joy. And that's incredible. In so many ways, it lifts our gaze as we march forward in this life, and it's a promise for us because of Jesus. He was a man of sorrows and acquainted with grief. There's no sorrow and no temptation that you know that he didn't know. And yet he pressed on to the cross so that he might bring many sons and daughters to glory. And so that all the losses, all the griefs, all the tears will not compare to the glory that's coming. And so we sow. And maybe you're not a weeping person, but you're sowing through pain. You're sowing through hardship. You're continuing to work, well aware that it seems like all your work is slipping through your fingers. So let's sow in tears, and let's sow in hope.